Greetings everyone. Today we continue the speedrun. I will explain the key ideas and practical concepts as we go. We focus on human chess, not engine perfection. Okay, let's go. Welcome. Oops, e4, knight f3. Okay, let's play Italian in the first game. Okay, knight attacks to e4. Knight g5 is a line, but d3 might be the best. Okay, this is a common mistake in this level. This gives a check, but white can block the check with pawn, and this is very useful move. It covers d4 and b4 square, and now bishop has to move somewhere, and now I will play d4 later on. Castling is a good choice almost in every opening, every position in the opening phase, and that's why we do castling here. Okay, are we ready for d4? Okay, there's 3 defenders, and we have attackers and 3 defenders. It seems that d4 is an option here. If he takes, I will take, and then we have very nice centers. So d4 is our move here. We didn't have good places for these minor pieces, so d4 was needed. And now we will have knight c3, which is a much more active square than d2. And if the knight is already on d2, then bishop can't move. So we would like to put knight c3, bishop g5, and so on. But now he has to move the bishop, and we could do okay, actually maybe this is not the best because pawn on e4 is hanging, but we have few good moves here. We can try to defend this with queen or with bishop, or we can pin the knight, or we can go forward, e5. Here is a good time to think what is the best move for white. Should we go queen c2, bishop d3, bishop g5, or e5? I will do my move quite soon. I think e5 is now the best because it hits the knight, and there is no good squares for the knight. Okay, maybe d5 is an option. If I take here, he can take here, but then black's castling is somewhat in ruins, maybe. Okay, knight jumps here. This looks quite risky to me. I can play h3, which is important move, and then knight has to go here. Then I can even trade, because then pawn structure is very weak. But why e5 was the best? Because queen c2 is not doing much, and bishop d3 is moving same piece in the opening, which is not usually a good idea. Okay, now we can go forward. I have to speed up a bit because otherwise I'm going to lose on time. But now I have very strong center. If he goes here, I can put my bishop on d3, but I don't have to now. Okay, maybe a3, b4, and then I can put bishop on b2. Okay, but this might be the clearest way to continue now, because then black's position is already in ruins. Or maybe I just pin the knight because there is a threat. Actually, this bishop might be much more useful in this position than taking here. D3, D6 is already an idea. Maybe D6 is coming now. Okay, now he lost the queen, but I think the position was already critical for black. Now I just have to play practical chess. I try to trade pieces to get easier position. There's quite many black pieces now, so if I can trade those, it's much easier to convert this advantage. We will look at key moments in this opening after this game, but I try to demonstrate the clearest way to win this if black wants to continue the game. Of course, I could go for checkmate very soon, or try to do something fancy, but it's not practical. Okay. He's thinking. I think there is there are no good options for black, but of course he can try something. Okay, this helps, I guess. I can win even more material. I have to be careful not to lose queen. Okay, I try to take this. Maybe g6 is needed, but then maybe even g4. Knight jumps here. That might give some tricks to black, so maybe I don't need that. I will take here. If he makes some discovery attack, I will put my queen on g3 and it covers, and I can check that every other piece is on dark square, so there is no other tricks. Maybe queen is in danger now, but I can just play like this. Okay, he's doubling the rooks. I don't need this pawn. Okay, I will take it now, but it was much more important to get pieces in play. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we can trade because we have a square for the king. Okay, let's defend those pawns. Okay, this helps a bit. And then checkmate will follow in a few moves. Okay, we have to be careful not to make stalemate, but there's always few moves left, so checkmate will follow now. Like this. Okay, let's see a few key moments, and then we can continue our speed run. D3 is very useful move here. It defends the pawn, and we are ready for castling, and then bishop can go on g5 or in some cases on e3. And this is a common mistake in this level. It gives a check but loses a move. This is very useful move in Italian positions and also some Spanish Ruy Lopez positions. So there is no need to put bishop here. It's much better to put bishop on c5, and then white should not go for this line anymore because black can castle, and now f7 is defended. So this is already very bad for white. I think if we check with what is the computer's opinion, I think it's saying that that could be already winning for black. It's not so easy, but as you can see, it's almost winning position. Black can go here, play d6, bishop here, something like that, and white can't use rooks because there is no open files, and that is the reason why two pieces are much better in this kind of positions. Anyway, in the game, I made a castle here, and then d4 as soon as it was possible, not to give any time for black, because if I play something slowly, like here, 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 which is quite okay, but then black can develop, play bishop here, maybe something like this, and then white doesn't have much. Maybe small advantage, but nothing more, and that is the reason why you should play d4 immediately if your opponent has lost a tempo in e4, e5 openings. And that's why this is a very good move. And here actually black should play something like this, not to open this center for white. Okay, according to the computer this is playable, but I think it's already quite critical. Black has to play very precisely. Anyway, this is clearly a mistake. Don't do this kind of trades if your opponent will have a good center. And now bishop b4 doesn't change much because in every bishop move I can follow with e5. According to the computer, it's better to start with d5, but I think this is still a very good choice. But as I said, d5 might be the best practical chance for black, because then if I don't take here, he can play knight e4, and then black is probably okay already. Yes, according to the computer, it's only slightly better for white. And that is the reason why d5, e5 is much might be slightly more precise than e5, d5. But the point is that here it's very good idea to advance in the center and not doing something like bishop d3 or queen c2, because it's too slow and it gives black time to regroup, and then maybe there is chances to equalize or at least have a playable position. Anyway, here I think this could be a practical choice as well, because now black's king's position is in ruins and I can try to attack quite quickly. This diagonal is useful. I can push d5, and then maybe even queen c1 is good enough for winning position. Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe there is d5, but it doesn't change much. But okay, here again I played d5, and if knight jumps here, it hits the bishop, but now knight is very badly placed, and there is a3, b4, and knight is going to get stuck on the edge. So maybe knight e7 was needed, and here I just thought that it's better to put bishop on g5. Computers disagree, but it's a very useful square, and now I have bishop in play. I can follow with queen here, knight c3, or take here if it looks better later on. But okay, black could do d6, and white has only large advantage in this position according to the computer. Anyway, the game was decided here because then he lost his queen. Okay, let's move on. Now we play d4. Okay, this is a quite practical way to go in Slav defense. Okay, but this is not the best, of course. Queen goes here, and okay, it wins the knight, and probably Black's idea is to put knight on e4 and attack here, but it doesn't work if White just prevents this idea. So, what is the best way to prevent this? You can give your answer in chat or just think along with me. I will give my answer soon, but I will think a few options. I will give my options in 5 seconds. Okay, the first line I will consider is f3, because then I can take very good center if I can do this, and then we go something like King's Indian setup or something similar where Queen a5 is clearly a wrong choice. Queen c2 looks quite natural. Queen d3 also. I can't do e4 because the knight is pinned. So I think those moves are best here. But I go for f3 now. Maybe d5 is the best option for Black, because then I don't have e4, and it's not so easy to develop this knight. But if Black does something like d6, g6, or something else, I can play e4, queen, bishop here, or queen d2. Actually, one choice. Oh, okay. He lost on time, or what happened? Okay. Anyway, here I forgot to mention that bishop d2 might be good as well, because then there is no knight e4, and if Black tries to catch a pawn, I can sacrifice this by playing this, and then queen is in danger now. Maybe it okay, maybe I can't win it immediately, but I have very nice center. I'm ahead of development. I can castle and push forward very soon, and this queen might get trapped as well. So this position might be clearly better for White. Okay, let's check what is the computer's opinion here, and then we go forward. According to the computer, actually bishop d2 is the best. I think I would do that in my Blitz games, but I choose to play f3. It's very easy way to play if Black does something like this, because then we just go like this and the castle short, or if we want to attack, we can castle long, and then we can just go here. If Black plays something like e5, we can close the center. Maybe it's not optimal, but it works quite well when Queen is here. So we have kind of extra move in many lines. But after bishop d2, we can see that this kind of idea with tempo lost are quite dangerous. I think if Black takes here after e4, computer says already that White is winning almost. So bishop d3, castling or something like that will work here. Okay, to the next game. Now we have Black pieces. Let's play e5. So we have Ruy Lopez. a6 is the main move here, and we have to take with d pawn to have an option to play queen d4 if White takes the pawn. So in this line, if white takes here, oh, okay, we can analyze it later. Now, actually, this is a threat already, so let's put bishop d6. It develops and defends the pawn. Okay, now one idea is to develop the knight here. It might be in better square than if we go here, because maybe d4 is an option in some lines. We can also develop the bishop, h3, bishop here, and then we have chance to castle long. Now we have pin. If he goes for g4, then bishop g6 is a good choice. Okay, now we have quite many choices here. Maybe even h3, g5, g4 is good for black, but it's quite hard to play, so we don't choose that line today. In this game, we can develop our knight here, but then g4 might be even playable. Okay, we can actually sack our knight there, I guess, but okay, let's see. Okay, he goes for knight g3, but now we can make this trade. We doesn't have to castle yet because there is no any kind of threats, so we can make this trade and then put our knight on h5 and continue with queen h4. It looks very good for black, and then we can castle long. So don't do castling if you don't need that, but it's very good to prepare it like here, and then we can castle immediately if we have a good reason to do that. But now we can trade here, put knight on h5 and start kingside attack. Okay, there's weak pawns. Okay, king h2 might be a good choice. Maybe queen here and then knight f4, but he has actually this move which is quite good. So should we continue with queen h4? Maybe it's better. If rook goes here, f2 is hanging. Now we are ready for f5, because if he takes, we can push, and then there's check. This will fall. Okay, I have to speed up now. Queen e1 could actually be a choice here. Now we go long castling, because his king is open. We can play something like rook d6 when bishop goes somewhere, or rook e8, rook e6, or f5 is a good option. Also, knight g3 might be the best for white. If we take, then these pawns are well placed again. So we can try to prevent that kind of action. Now, maybe even some kind of cheese cheeks f5 is good enough, but I think this plan is working. There's pawn weaknesses. We can go for bishop c5. Okay, we can take here. I have to speed up a bit not to lose on time, and then we will go through those key moments. Bishop c5 threatens checkmate. I can follow with rook g6. Now I can make a bigger threat. He can't take this because then checkmate will follow. actually queen g4 might be a good choice. Okay, now I can take this with rook, I think, but okay, let's be practical. Now we won a pawn, okay. Now he is losing some pieces, but actually queen g4 might be the move earlier, but now we can just trade because we are piece up. It's easiest way to continue. Our knight is very good here. There is no pawn g3 or e3, and that's why we can keep our knight here. Okay, this lost the rook. Okay, now the outpost is secured, and checkmate will follow like this. Okay, let's see. Hello, welcome. Here, if white takes e5, this is very standard idea in Ruy Lopez, so it's not good idea to take e5 immediately, but after d3 it's an option. Here black can just take here and it's check, and then black can trade queens and then bishop pair, and open position gives good chances for an advantage, but it might be even better to put bishop on f5, because then white has to take here, and then bishop is already in play if you compare the trade position. And here, if d3 happens, then we can transpose our edge to different kind of edge. We have bishop pair here, we can trade here, and now pawns are weak, and we can continue with this plan as well. But as we can see, computer says that bishop d5, bishop f5 is still edge for black, and it's because of bishop pair, and this kind of pawn structure doesn't harm too much, and that is the reason why white should not do this. d3 is a good move here, and now this is a real threat. Bishop d3, d6 develops the bishop, and now e5 is defended by bishop. Okay, here I played bishop g4 to pin the knight. There is other options as well, but here it's not good idea to take here immediately, because then queen takes here, and now white has an edge. And why is that? Because we have this pawn structure, and we don't have bishop pair anymore. So bishop h5 is much better, and if white tries to do something like this, it doesn't work, because we can open up the king's side, we can castle long, and then king is in danger. So knight c3 or something else is much better. Here knight f6, and okay, it's not easy to play because of this pin, and that's why it's very good idea to pin a knight like this. If queen goes somewhere, we can always trade here, and black has edge. So white has to do something, but in practical point of view, maybe even knight here and knight there is the way to continue, because black doesn't have any quick plans how to use these two tempes. Maybe queen here, castling, and h6, g5, g4 is the optimal idea, but black has to play active way. But this is clearly wrong, and as we can see, computer says this trade is the best way to play. If we castle here, we don't use our option here, and now it's gone. We can't do this anymore, because now knight and queen and bishop are actually attacking quite well here. Knight f5, bishop here, maybe even g4, g5 ideas, and that is the reason why white's position is better here. So we have to take this, or okay, let's see, if we castle like this and then go here, the bishop is not doing much, and that is also a reason why black doesn't have edge here. Even he has bishop pair, there's no good diagonals, and these knights are doing very well in this kind of position. Maybe in some day they can jump here and create play with f4 or do something else. But be careful, if you jump here, sometimes knight can take e4 and knight is dropping on h4. That might be sometimes an option for black. But okay, I think in the game black was doing fine even with this idea, but actually I think I made a few mistakes. As I said, queen g4 is actually bigger threat than this one, and in these kind of positions one single move can change things, and I should take here, and then black has only a small advantage. And here maybe taking with rook might be even better choice if you can handle this kind of positions, because now there's checkmate threat and it's quite easy to continue. Or maybe queen f3 changes things a bit. Yeah, okay, it's not so easy. Okay, let's play practical way, and taking with bishop is the practical way here. And okay, these kind of knights are very powerful pieces in positions where pawns have doesn't have chance to attack to it. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's play c4. I play e4, d4, d4, and c4, which are the best openings for white. Opening moves, I mean. Okay. So c4 is too strong. We won immediately. Okay, let's try again. Okay, e5, very good choice. And now we will develop our knight here. This is much more positional setup than e4 openings. If you like to play similar fashion, bishop here, e3, knight here, or even bishop, e4, knight here, it's Botvinnik setup. I think so. And here, knights are defending each other. Bishop has very good diagonal. We will castle soon, put d3, or in some cases d4. The idea is to go for flank attack. We can do b4, a4, this kind of attack, and it's quite easy to play. Okay, c6, and with the idea of d5 is a good choice for black, but in many positions knight is here and black has to do d6, and then black's idea is to play with play on king's side, and it's not so easy to create attack. But okay, this is central action, and now we try to take here to prevent d4, because then black has too much space. Maybe d4 is not an option now, because we can take, and then this pawn might get weak. It might be that way. And now we have two attackers and there's two defenders. We can play queen b3 here, and it hits the b7 as well. So it seems that black has to go forward, and then this pawn can be weak. D4 is an option, of course, but then E4, we have F3, and then these pawns might be weak, or if black takes here, we can take with bishop, and then this pawn can't move. So in this game, we will fix this pawn, but I think I would do this in my Blitz games. But I think this is much easier to handle now. Maybe even knight f4 without f3. Queen here, knight here, and this will drop. Okay, let's start with knight f4. G5 is not an option. We can jump here. Bishop g4, we can trade, and then this bishop will fall. And if he takes, we can take with queen, and then there is quite many weak pawns already. Okay, it hits the queen, but in chess, these kind of ideas are sometimes quite dangerous for black, because then queen can go better square, and now he kind of lost move here, because my queen is much better now on b3 than in that position where bishop defends the b7. So be careful when you attack the queen that you are not provoke it to better square, and now we will win the pawn here. And the positional idea, main idea, is to win this d5, because when it falls, then e4 is weak, and we have at least enough resources to have winning endgame. But okay, we are already pawn up, so this might be enough for win. There is no real chances to attack on king's side, so we can relax a bit, just develop pieces. But okay, have to be careful still. Our queen is not in trap, so if rook comes here, we can even take this one. Okay, he resigned. Let's see. I think the position was already winning or close to it. Here we could take here, as computer says, but other choices are good as well. I think I would do this, because then bishop can go here. It's much more active than on d2. Okay, and if it looks dangerous to have queen here, we could even bring it back to a4 or even e2, but I think it gives some practical chances to black, so it's not optimal idea. But here, I think this is the most important phase in this game. He played c6 and d5. Usually this is a good idea, and as we can see, computer likes black's position already. Maybe I made a few moves without thinking, and there was better move order to avoid this position, but in my Blitz game I would do this actually, but it seems that it's much better to play d4 as I did in this game. But after d4, my idea was that I can take here. Maybe there's some tactical reason why this is not working. Okay, he could play this, and then I don't have enough resources to take this one. Now it's too dangerous to take c6 and d4, because then my king's position is really weak. So don't do this in your games. Even here, black can even sack c6, because then open diagonal and bishop here gives too much counterplay. Anyway, few words about this move because this leads more common positions. When white castles, black plays something like d6, white plays d3, then b4, b5, and if you like to play this kind of positions, you can go for c4. Okay, let's play more. Okay, now we play Sicilian. d3, and in Sicilian you can also play with similar setup than what you did or what we did in English opening. Of course, white can play knight f3 and d4, and it's totally different story then, but in those lines you can also... Oh, actually, there was bishop b2. Okay, have to concentrate. And that's why this long diagonal can be very useful. Your opponent can make blunders early on. Now e5 is too much. I can take here, and then there is 3 pieces attacking on e5 and only one defender. So this is kind of book example when not to push pawns forwards. Okay, he did it. Hopefully I'm right this time. Oh, he can take with knight. That might be a different story, but now we have 3 attackers and only one defender, so I will win this pawn. Okay, I can't see any reason why not to take this one. Okay, here, if we go back, then we are losing some tempos. Taking here first and then knight d4 is an option. I think we will win some time because queen has to move. Is it here or there? It's kind of similar situation. Okay, queen d1 or queen f2. Maybe queen f2 is better because then he has chance to castle, and if queen goes back then it's not in the game, so queen f2 is better. Now we can castle or play e5. It blocks this bishop, but it's quite useful move in any case. Maybe we can keep it here because, okay, if he castles, now it's a good idea to keep this diagonal open. My king is here, his king is there, so he tries to do this. I'm pretty sure we can do this to hit the rook, but we can also start with b5, and we are much quicker to get some action on queen side. So b5 is our move here. I think e5 could be a clearly wrong choice because I don't really have any other reason to play e5 than win a tempo, but then this diagonal is closed, and that is bigger problem than one tempo. Okay, bishop is going here, so rook has to move, but okay, maybe bishop b7, we can trade, and then b4. Knight jumps here or queen jumps here. So if we have some kind of intermediate move, that would be great. If b4, bishop here, I can take, he can take here. it looks like that I'm going to give checkmate. And I would do this in my game, I mean some Blitz game, but in this speedrun I try to be I try to play in a way which is easier to handle in this level, so I will do this. This doesn't change much, I guess. I can trade the bishops and play b4, maybe queen here, and then my attack will be decisive, I guess. Let's see. b4. He will jump here, maybe. Then I have to be careful not to lose my queen. So tactics are there always, even we think positionally. Now he has to defend the a2, because if I get here, then my attack will be too strong. But how to proceed after king b1? I think this is too slow. This is too slow. I have to open up the b file, and I will do this with tactics. In this kind of positions, I think there is no time to do anything that slow. Okay, he could take here, but maybe even rook c8 and knight a4, a3 is good enough for winning edge. No, I have to speed up. Maybe this is not the most instructive way, but I will do this because it opens up the king side. It's not so easy chess, but it's effective one, and in this kind of positions you have to play active way. Actually, queen c3 is quite pretty because he can take it. It's checkmate, and I can use tactics now. Oh, he took there, but okay, checkmate will follow like this. Okay, let's go forward. And now e5. If we play knight f6, then knight g5 is kind of move. If we want to avoid it, we can start with bishop c5, and now there is no knight g5. d3 is quite common move, and if knight jumps here, we can castle, and that is the way to play here. First bishop, then knight, and then we can castle if knight jumps g5. Of course, knight f6 is a good choice for black, but then we have to sacrifice pawn, and it might be much harder to handle. Okay, this looks quite passive. Bishop g5 is very natural choice. Okay. If I play d6, then bishop might go here, but then it's losing tempo, so I think d6 has to be a good choice here. Okay, he prevents g4. Now one option is to put bishop here. If this trade happens, this pawn structure is not a problem. I have opened f file, and my queen will join in the attack, but of course he can do something else. But that is one option. Other idea is to play a6, maybe bishop here if needed, b5, and so on. Knight d4 might be the third idea. What should I choose here? Maybe even knight here and here is an option. Then c6, d5. Actually, that looks quite interesting. Maybe it's the easiest way to play. Or maybe not. He can do this, and then we have to take some pawn weaknesses, but I think that could work. Okay, g4. Now we are facing attacking player. He tries to push g5. Now, usually a good idea is to strike in the center if your opponent plays on king side, and I try to demonstrate it. Now d5 will follow. Okay, he jumps there. He plays this one, and I can't jump here because now this tactics gives some play. To white, and now maybe, oh, what is this? Oh, he will go here and tries to checkmate me. Have to be careful now. Should I take this with pawn? Okay, have to speed up. I might lose this one if I'm not ready. Okay, let's play h6. It prevents this idea, and now I will jump on f4. Queen will come to f6, and I think I can handle this, but it's not so obvious that is my position, was my position better. Maybe white had some chances, but I think now everything is in control. I can play b5, knight here, or something else. The clock is only issue here. He tries to do, I will open up the f file like I did. Now I can take here and here, but first I think I will do this. I don't like to take this one too early, because then he might get some counterplay. Okay, let's trade queens. It's easiest way to play. Queen here might be the answer for white. Now we have very nice outpost on g5. The knight is pinned, so we can follow with rook f2. Now he has to come back, because if rook goes here, we can take this one. Nothing is happening on queen side, so we concentrate on f file and second rank. Maybe even rook takes here is an option, but we have to be practical, not to lose on time. So if this works, then we don't have to find any other options. Maybe knight jumps here, then we have knight, we can jump here and there and everywhere. We have one free square, so there is no checkmate. Now we can take even here to trade more pieces, and the end will be quite easy. Okay, we could take this one, but it's quicker to push this pawn. Now we have to do something else, but we have 2 seconds increment, so any quick idea will work here. Okay, let's see a few key moments in the game. I think here when he played g4, it was quite interesting idea, and that's why maybe knight e7 is too slow. Maybe knight a5 is an option to trade this bishop. There is no good squares. If bishop goes here, we can go like in Ruy Lopez, and then when it's here, we don't need to trade it immediately. We can do that, but we can also make some other moves and take here when we are ready. when it's the best moment to do that. I'm so calm in time trouble. Have to be because otherwise you are doing bad moves. So that's why it's good to try to calm down. It's not easy, but if you do some practice, you can probably handle it better. But okay, let's see a few ideas. Okay, I mentioned this move, and then okay, according to the computer, knight a4 might be something, but it seems that black's position is at least playable here. I think I would take even black pieces here because it's not so easy to find good diagonal for the bishop. Computer might find, but in human chess you have to create clear plans, and with knights this might be easier. Queen here, knight here, and here, and it gives some pressure on white's king side, and it's quite useful idea in many lines. So I like to do this trade in Italian positions. You can do it with white pieces and black pieces, and it gives a quite clear plan to follow. Anyway, here he played g4, and as I said, when your opponent goes for flank attack, strike in the middle, so c6 is okay. It's also computer's first choice, but here, what did I do? I went here, and he made this sacrifice. Okay, it's not correct, but it was quite scary because I didn't see beforehand that he can do this, and maybe there is some tactics if he plays this one, because I have seen many ideas, tactical ideas with these three pieces when f7 and h7 is weak, and there is some extra resources as well. But according to the computer, I have time to do this. If queen goes here, he can take this one, but I have enough resources to defend. Even d5, very useful move. It cuts this diagonal, and now queen is hanging and bishop is hanging, and black is winning. So after all, everything was fine, but wasn't so easy. Okay, there was some tactical resources for black as well, but I think this is very good choice. It gives some extra protection on king's side, and also gives some chances to attack. So in time trouble, this kind of choices are usually very good. Okay, I didn't see it. It was hanging. Okay, I played too positionally. I could take this queen. Sometimes this kind of things happens, but it doesn't change much because black is still having winning position. Okay, and the game was decided here. Just to put knight here to prevent any kind of play on g file, and then use f file. We can trade pieces and so on. Okay, let's move on. Okay, can you play an Italian game? Yes, I can. Yes, let's play Italian. If you want to see some openings, you can send your request in the chat. Let's play Italian. Okay, this is something else. Elephant Gambit. Okay. There is one line which I would like to demonstrate. It's much easier to handle than those lines where you take here and or here. Actually, we start with knight e5, but the idea is not to take this pawn immediately. This might be the easiest way to get at least big advantage or small advantage. I'm not sure what is the computer's evaluation, but this is quite easy way to play. Idea is to put bishop on c4, and when bishop comes to d6, actually, was it d4 immediately? This looks much better, actually. The idea is to follow with queen h5. It hits here and hits here, and then we will have good position. But I think I'm not sure which one is the first move here. d4, he will take. We can have very good development. We are ready for castle. Okay, that has to be a good choice for white, if I'm not missing anything. If he makes this and tries to take my knight, I can castle, and then e-file will be a problem. Let's see a few key moments after the game, but now I'm ready for bishop c4, and now the elephant gambit might be in trouble already. If knight jumps here, I can take it, and then f7 will fall. If bishop comes here, I can take this one and play knight, queen here, and then there's lots of different kind of attacking ideas. So let's follow with this plan. Okay, is there something wrong with this? I can take. He has knight f6, but I can keep the pin here, and it hits here also. So this is very common tactics in opening play. If he takes, I will take the rook. If this happens, then queen here, it hits here, and keep this pin. And I'm ready for castling if something happens. Okay, we will take this if this is not better. If king goes here, we can go here. But king d7 is much better, so we are not going to take this one. Okay. Check, but we can put bishop between, and then queen is hanging and the knight is hanging. So it's much better to put bishop here than knight. I think so. He can go here and take here. Okay, actually. Not so easy. So we are not ready. I mean, we are not sure. So let's play this way. This is at least very good choice for white. Now we castle. We can use this pin now. We can trade here. It gives easier position to handle. He tries to castle here, so maybe queen here first, or maybe even long castle. Okay, let's castle here. Now we are ready for knight e4. If this moves somewhere, we just retreat with attack. Now we have to move faster. Maybe queen e5 gives a chance to trade queens. Not now. Okay, here's some tactics. Oh, I found winning tactics, so I have to go for it. But otherwise, I would do this. And now we will take the queen, and it's easy. I will show that opening line you can use it in your games. I think I won one classical game against 1900 player in 17 moves or something like that with this elephant gambit. Evan's gambit might be too hard to handle in this speed run, but maybe I will do later some speed run with gambits if it's good idea. But now this is the first speed run, so I try to play without gambits. I'd like to play dynamic chess, but now I try to calm down and play more positionally. Okay, we are waiting. Okay, let's see what was happening in the opening. Here, I think computer says some other lines, but yeah, taking here, but those lines are quite messy. So taking here and here, if bishop d6 or d takes e4 happens, it goes with the same. So this is the line. d4, he takes here. I will play bishop c4, and now bishop takes e5, queen h5. There's checkmate, and there's no other good moves than queen e7. Now we can trade queens, and this is something that elephant gambit players doesn't like. We go in the queenless middle game with good prospects to get an advantage with bishop pair and quick development. There is some tactical ideas, and we can also trade these pawns, and then we have edge because of bishop pair. So doesn't have to remember much, and if he tries to do something else, like what he did in the game, I played d4. I think it's good option. Maybe bishop c4 is better according to the computer, but this is very good choice, because now we are clearly having a good position, development edge. If queen goes somewhere, we can just castle, and this knight is untouchable. We can win the queen very easily, and if he tries to do something like what happened in the game, like c6, we are already winning with bishop c4. So this is my recommendation to what we can do against elephant gambit. Okay, let's move on. Let's play French defense. Okay, bishop c4 is quite common move in this level, and it doesn't work against e6 or c6, because black can play d5 with tempo, and it's very useful, and white is already losing his opening advantage. So against e5, it's good idea to put bishop on c4, but when your opponent plays e6 or c6, don't play bishop c4. Against Sicilian, it might be playable, but still e6 d5 is a good idea against bishop c4. Okay, this check might come, but then c6 is again a good choice for black. Okay, this bishop will be a big problem for white. I can do c6, and this pawn structure on queen side is usually very good against this bishop. There is no future. White has to move this knight, play c3, bishop c2, and it takes so much time that I can just play c6. Here queen e2 might happen, but it might be also a slightly inaccurate move, because I can do bishop e7, castling, and my rook will go to e file, and then I'm winning tempos again. Okay, queen f3 looks quite active, but the downside is that I can develop my pieces with a threat. If you would like to think what is the move I'm going to play, you can think few seconds and then I will do it. I will explain what is the idea behind the move. There is of course many good choices for black, because black is having good position because of this structure and this bishop. Okay, I play bishop g4. It develops the bishop and hits the queen, and there is no good squares for the... Oops, I was pre-moving it. And okay, here this check doesn't harm, because I can play bishop e7. It's much better than put queen between, because then queen can trade here, and then there is no further tactics like d4. Now, okay, white has d4, which is very useful move. Okay, it hits the bishop. Maybe d4 is something already, but my bishop is under attack, so I will play this one. Okay. And now I will follow with d4 if he does this. Okay, he attacks here. Maybe I can take even this one. It looks a little bit safer. Oh, okay, what is this? Now I see I can win the queen. He tries to flag me. But I think this game was quite instructive, so we will go through a few key moments. This is pinned, so doesn't have to worry about threatened square. So now we will have checkmate in 2 moves, I guess. You can try to find it. No, I was wrong. Okay, but still, maybe few more moves are needed. But oh, he went there. Okay, let's try to make checkmate with the knight. Would be nice. Okay, a3, f5, and then bishop e4. Okay, let's see. I think here the best idea is to just put bishop on e2, but so there was no point to play bishop c4. As we can see, after bishop c4, computer says that black is already a bit better. But the reason is that now white is going to lose tempo or even more, or after bishop b3, the bishop is a problem. There is many options for black, but this structure is very useful in many kind of openings. So you can remember this and use it in your games. Here, queen e2 is mistake also according to the computer, because then white is going to lose some tempos, and after queen f3, bishop g4 is also the best line according to the computer. But the idea was that if queen goes somewhere here, I can follow with queen d, bishop d6, and if queen goes here, white is using many tempos, and black's development is very quick. I can castle and try to make checkmate, maybe even castling, check. Now king cannot go anywhere. King f1 is bad. After king d1, there's quite nice idea. I can play knight e4. If he takes here, then it's checkmate, and otherwise the queen is dropping because there's a pin. If queen takes here, then knight f2 is checkmate. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, nightmare. Okay, now Italian. Okay, this is clearly too slow. It prevents knight g5. I think that is the idea behind this move. And then black will follow with knight f6. But this is kind of similar loss of tempo than bishop b4 after d3. And I will castle and play d4 immediately to get some edge from this move. I could do d4 immediately, but I think it goes the same. So d4 is my move here. Okay, he tries to prevent it, but here I think I will do this, and then h6 is clearly too slow. If I do something like d3 and knight c3, then black's position is totally fine. So in this kind of positions, when your opponent plays something like h6, you have to react quickly to get some advantage, and that is the way to play. Now, if he takes here, we will have very nice center. Actually, was it the first game in the stream that we had quite similar position? In that position, there was no h6, but bishop went here and came back. But we have quite similar position with quite similar ideas. And now we can see that this knight is in trouble. There's no time to castle, and usually this kind of things happens. So white is winning now. Can you find the best move? I think there's at least two good options for white. I think the best one wins a piece, and the other one is winning pawn and will get good position. If you want to answer, you can leave your answer in chat, or you can just think along with me. Okay, I will make my move in few seconds, not to avoid time trouble. Okay, f7 is under fire, and I can do queen d5. This is hanging, and the other option is to take here and then check, and then whoa, have to move quickly. It was going to get uported. So queen d5, and now the knight is hanging. There's checkmate threat, so white is winning. After knight g5, I will take that with bishop or knight. Maybe taking with knight is actually even better to get a chance to take f7 after castling, but it doesn't really matter which one to do. Okay, queen d5. Great, you found it. Now there is no any good moves for black. Okay. Okay, maybe he can do something like bishop there. So is this better? He has queen g8. But okay, everything works now. Have to be practical. We can trade queens. Of course, this is an option, maybe even the best one. Okay, let's play it, because then there will be checkmate. Okay, he's thinking. Okay, I think there is not much to check, so let's play a new game. Let's play d4 this time. Knight f3. Okay, this is usually a wrong choice, or at least inaccurate choice in d4, d5 openings. There is some openings where knight c6 can happen, but in many openings, black needs to have c5 to get some play, and that is the reason why not to put knight c6 first. So c5, knight c6 if you want to do this, but usually knight can go to d7, and something like that is good enough. You doesn't need much theory knowledge there. Just do something like this. Knight comes here. You can put pawns like this, and black's position is very solid. I will do kind of London setup. Bishop d3, c3, pawns d4, c3, e3, bishop, knight here. And the move order is not so important here. Of course, there is some positions where you should play these moves in right order, but in many cases you can do whatever you want, just to be sure that there's no any kind of tactics. Now I can try to demonstrate that there's a problem with knight c6. I don't put bishop d3. That might be a good choice as well, or c3 to prevent any kind of knight b4 before knight d3, and then castling and e4 and so on. But this might work very well, and it's very natural. Then I can take here and break this position, Now I would like to do knight e5, but it doesn't work because here is a pin. So I have to break this pin somehow. And if you want to think how to break this pin, and then I can do this, which gives good chances to get a winning position early on. So what is the white's best move here? I could go for castling, of course, and play something like that, but here I try to be more accurate. Okay, let's play h3. And if bishop goes somewhere, I have knight e5. If it takes here, I can take with knight, and then knight e5 will follow. If bishop goes here, I can go for g4 and knight e5. And I doesn't have to castle here if I can have a strong knight on e5, then he doesn't have time to use this weakness. And I doesn't have to castle short. So, okay, here is a threat, and I don't play this immediately. I find is there bigger threats, and this is much bigger, so I don't have to worry about now where to go. If it goes here, I can follow my plan. It covers b4 as well, and queen is under attack, so he doesn't have time to take this. Actually, queen d7 is working now, because if I go here, he can take this with queen. Okay, that is a surprising. Okay, so I have to do something here, bishop here, and then we can see that this weakness is quite serious one. So back to positional play. Okay, he didn't want to do that. Now I have again a bigger threat, and I can save both pieces. But if he could take here, I can castle, play c4, rook c1, and so on. So everything is in control. Castling, and then I'm ready for a4, for example, or I can play with e4 idea is also kind of typical. Okay, he went in kamikaze mode. Maybe here, and then I will have quick attack. This is bigger threat, so he doesn't have time to take this one. At least we had chances to learn what is bigger threat in this game. Okay. Oh, there was queen c6. Okay, but we will have checkmate in few moves. I think so. Well, let's continue with this, because if he goes here, I can checkmate with queen and bishop. So it's very important to know those basic checkmate patterns. Okay, there is different schools of thought. Should one go with one opening, or learn two, or something like that? But if we talk about this level, usually it's good idea to just develop your pieces and know those basic principles, and you don't have to need theory knowledge. Just play moves which are usually good, and you will have good positions. So I think it's much more important to learn enough tactics and basic principles, taking play in center, develop your minor pieces, and so on. Okay, let's play Caro-Kann this time. Caro-Kann and French defense have similar idea. This will prepare d5, e6 will prepare d5, and then we can trade few pieces. And in these positions, white doesn't have chance to attack f7 because e6 is usually a good choice for black. Even though this bishop might be a small problem, but after b6, bishop b7, c5, we will have quite good game. Okay. If bishop c4 happens, then e6. Okay, he tries to get some play with the gambits. My advice is that if you are not sure to take the gambit or not, don't take it, because if you play something like e3, usually you don't face any kind of opening theory, and just give that pawn back, and it will give you easy game. Now I will develop my pieces, and he doesn't have chance to attack. It's much easier. I think I haven't heard this gambit earlier. It's, what is it? Caro-Kann defense, Yleisis gambit. Okay, I can't pronounce it, but quite rare, I guess. Okay, I could play h6 to kick knight out, but maybe he will follow with h4, then h5 might be even better, so I will go with e6, bishop b4, and start counter-attacking. Maybe it's not a good idea to castle short, because he tries to attack on queen side. I can keep my king in the center, because in Caro-Kann structure it's usually quite safe in the center if white tries to do something like this. Of course, I should develop my pieces. He tries to take here, but it's okay. I can play knight d7 and take here with knight, and this develops. I don't want to take here, because then he might get something. h6 will follow, and then I think white's position might be critical already. Okay, now it's pinned, so I think there might be already some tactics, but let's play according to the plan. If knight jumps here, I think he will lose something, or maybe not. I'm not sure. At least I have few ideas. One is to give a check and then put queen here, and then there is so many attackers that he doesn't have time to defend this. Oh, is this an option? I was just counting on that if he takes this, I can defend my bishop, but there was actually queen d, knight d6, and then this is hanging, so whoa. Knight takes here, this one. Okay, black is fine there, but oh, actually it's not that easy. Okay, but he is going to lose few knights. Okay, and then okay, everything is working. So okay, let's take here and bishop knight here, because now both pawns are hanging. He has knight f2, but it's clear that white doesn't have much from the opening. Okay, this is bigger threat again. I can do that. There is no time to take this one. And now rook is hanging. So I think we are winning now. Bishop f4 might be the best. Okay. Now I'm winning even more material. Oh. I have to be ready for his moves. Now I will collect those pieces. Okay, which one to take? Okay, this is more badly placed, so let's take the bishop. It doesn't really matter in this position, but it's quite good common idea to think in many positions. Okay, so I will develop more pieces. I don't have to take this one. This doesn't get to the game, so castling might be the next. Okay, let's castle. And now there's weaknesses. We will try to make checkmate. Okay, let's play more. d4, d5. I think this is the first game that we are playing against d4, at least today. Okay, Jopava London is quite common, and this might be annoying to meet. So my recommendation is just play a6. It's useful move, and this knight might be badly placed. As I said, in d4, d5 openings, its knight is not well placed on c3. So in many main lines, white is playing d4, c4, and then knight c3. And that's because usually white needs to get c4 to get some play. Here he doesn't have knight b5, so maybe he tries to do e4, but I will put my bishop on long diagonal. I think I have time. b5 is an option, or b6 is an option. If I'm not sure which one, it's usually better to keep your position more solid. That's why I play b6. Okay, he tries to trade these. That might be a good choice, but it will develop the bishop. So I think this is clearly misplaced here. That's why I put my bishop here. I think this is also a good option for white, but now it's very hard to play e4, which is white's main idea, because there is no c4. So okay, black is very solid, and I will put my knights f6 and d7, and then pawns like this, and bishop usually on e7 and b7. And you can do this almost every time against these positions. H6, I will try to win a piece, and that's why this is clearly wrongly placed. Okay, bishop e5. Now knight d7 is a good option. Okay, he trade here. I can take this with bishop or knight. I think this is the plan for white. So maybe here taking with bishop is actually more precise. Okay, b4 tries to top c5, but actually it doesn't stop it because knight is hanging. So we can do this immediately. We can also castle and play this later. In my Blitz game, I would do c5 immediately because I think it's more precise. But here I would just castle because I think c5 is a good move still in the next move. Now we had a better chance, so that's why we took here. Now there is a pin, and now we are using it. So I think if you play like this, you don't really need much opening theory, just common principles, and you are doing fine. And now we are trading queens, I guess. Is this the most precise way to do it? He can go here, but I can open up the A file or C file, and these pieces are not cooperating. Okay, let's trade. I might take this one, but there is some risks that it might get trapped, so we can just play this way. We have enough material for winning positions, so don't have to take more. He can trade if he wants. It doesn't harm because there is no risks with this position because there is no queens on the board. Okay, maybe I will push these pawns forward now because it's the easiest way to win this. Still kicking. Still kicking. Okay. Then we will have nice bishops here. Bishop pair is very good when there is open diagonals. Okay, I can take this one, but I could also play bishop c5, and as we can see, these are monsters when they are cooperating well together. There might be even rook d2 immediately, but or something else. Now everything is pinned. Yeah, I think there wasn't too much to add. I think I said everything what was need to know in that position. So okay, let's play. We played Italian. in the last game. So let's play Ruy Lopez, and again we see this kind of move. It's very common in this level. Black is using moves like this, and then there is chance to play d4 early on. You can do c3, d4, or go d4 straight away, but let's do this way. I think this might be even more instructive. Now we have good center. We go here and we'll push forward. Now we don't have any clear plan why to push e5 immediately. We wait that knight will land here, and then e5 is much more effective. Okay, this is good move, but we can just bring our bishop here, or maybe even c4, because it hits the f7, which is very good. Okay, what to do? Maybe here. Knight a5 is an option. Now we are ready for e5. We can also play rook e1 here, but there's no reason to do something like this because it gives black time to castle, and then we don't have much from the opening. But now we have. Okay, let's play e5, and knight will jump here, I guess. There might be even sacrificing ideas already, but there's bishop e6. It's not so clear. Knight jumps here. We can at least play bishop f4. It develops the piece, and then we are ready for h3. This knight is hanging. This might be enough for winning edge because the knight is pinned, and then we are ready for f4. So maybe h3 is the move I would do in my own games. It seems that it's winning, but let's play. This is probably still good enough. And this is easier to handle. Now we have bishops and knights in play and castling, and now we are ready to do something. Rook e1 would be good. There is no point to put rook on c file, but d file might be useful. Queen here could be a mistake because there's castling or bishop e6, and this is only a one threat. So maybe we go for h3 now. But we could do something else because this doesn't go away. We can do this later if we want. There might be some other attacking ideas, but this is good enough for win. Okay. We don't have queen g4, but we can do queen h5. There's no g6, and actually we can try this in some cases, maybe not now because, okay. Let's just develop pieces. Rook d1 is also a good choice. Maybe we will, oh, okay, let's do this. If queen comes here, then we can take the knight to the action. Every piece are attacking now. Okay, this is not yet, but maybe we don't need it. We can, oh, now we have at least knight e7. Okay, let's do it. It's very common that something is dropping when you have nice pieces like this. This way you will find tactics and so on. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's see few key moments after h6. Let's see what is computer's opinion. We are not going to follow it in every case, but it plays castling here, and then d4 immediately. Of course, it works as well, but I think c3 is good enough for advantage, and this bishop e6 is clearly a wrong choice because there is already big threats, and here we are having almost winning advantage because black has lost few tempis with bishop and also with the pawn. Okay, this is not tempo lost, but it's kind of same because black doesn't need this, and that's why we will have good position here. White can choose a4 or c4. Maybe this is a move with which we can check it. If bishop goes here, then knight a5. This is quite common. In these cases, we can even give black a chance to trade it because we are ready for e5. But in Rui Lopez and also Italian game, white usually keeps this bishop. It's very useful. Later on, there's many attacking ideas with this diagonal or even this diagonal, and knight is on the edge, which is not the best place. So we can follow with rook e1 and e5, and this is one important moment in these openings. Now we are ready for e5. There is no need to prepare more because there is tempo lost, and that's why white can do this immediately. And now this is hanging after rook e1 or bishop f4, but actually rook e1 could be slightly inaccurate because there is some threats on f2. Okay, maybe there is some tactics. White can sack the bishop and take the check, and this helps white, but just to make it clear that this is winning also because there is pin, and if black tries to defend it, we can go for f4. Maybe it's not the best. Attack here with bishop will do the same or even better. And if f6 happens, then there is even checkmate in few moves. Or actually, why not? King f8. Ah, okay. This covers the square, but can't do this because knight is pinned. But after this, black has bishop e8. Okay, but it's winning any case. Okay, let's play a few more today, and we will continue our journey later on. e4. d6. There's many ways to meet this kind of opening. One good option is to play f3 here, and then you can just develop your pieces like this and castle long if you like to play some attacking chess. Actually, this has been played by many top players as well. It's a good line, but let's play something more simple. I think we can just develop pieces like this. Bishop here, and then h3 if needed. Okay, knight here. Maybe it it's better to put bishop here, bishop g4 and e5. Now this gives some extra options for white. Actually, if we are going for castling, we can do this immediately because we don't really we don't know which is the best square for this c1 bishop. If we go here, black can play h6, g5 in some cases. So maybe we play h3 if we want to do this first. But I think, okay, let's play h3. This might get tricky after h6. Now we can play kind of Sicilian structure if we just play bishop e3, but usually it's a good idea to take some space if you are not sure that trading is a good option. Now black's basic idea is to play a6, b5. This is clearly wrong plan because knight is very badly placed on b6. One option is to play a4, a5, which is useful move in this kind of positions, but we can also just develop. There is no need to keep rook here. E-file is very useful in many lines. And now we can develop this bishop. In this kind of structure, bishop f4, bishop h2, if needed, is an option because white tries to play e5 in any case. But we do this first just to put knight back to d7 or just to prevent any kind of center action. Okay, now it's good idea to play this. It's bigger threat than this one, so we are sure that knight will return to d7, and then we are ready to take on e6. d6 might fall. Rook is very clumsy on e6. We can follow with bishop c4. Okay, this is hanging, but even if it's not, we can push e5 and make some weaknesses. That's quite common idea, but maybe queen takes d6 is easier. Okay, bishop c4, bishop b5, or we can also develop that other bishop. I think there is no good squares for the queen, so we can just play queen d1, maybe e5, bishop g5. If black plays this, it opens up this diagonal, and that's why this kind of structure is already very, very weak for black. There's lots of weaknesses, and now we can use these pins. Okay, white is winning. We could take this, but I made this check first. This doesn't go anywhere. Actually, it's quite good idea to check all those checks before taking those rooks, that kind of rooks, I mean. Okay, now we are quite close to make checkmate. with 2 bishops. If he takes here, okay, there is no checkmate, that kind of checkmate, but of course this will be winning edge, and then rook will come here. Now it's checkmate in 1 move. Okay, I think it's good times to stop for the day. We got 500 rating, and we will continue our journey later. This might be the last stream in this year, but after holiday break we will continue these streams and other streams as well. Thanks for watching, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. Take care.